Hello, I'm Leticia Nichols. I'm the manager and nurse practitioner from Teammate Health. And I have with me today our new infectious disease specialist, Dr. Rahul Sampath.
I'm Dr. Sampath. I'm the new infectious disease doctor here in Blue Ridge. I did my fellowship in the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, and I did my residency down south in Texas at Baylor Medical Center. So I'm very happy to be joining this community. It's an extremely beautiful community. I'll be happy to communicate with you in any way or form that you'd like.
Today we wanted to spend some time to address the influenza and the efforts that we're having in our organization to prevent the disease from impacting us and our patients in a negative way. So we look at it in terms of patient safety, but also worker health and safety. Influenza is a disease that can be a significant impact to someone's health, especially if they have issues with asthma, with any other debilitating disease, cardiovascular disease, whatever it might be. Those people are at high risk for significant impact from flu, maybe going to pneumonia and perhaps death.
Influenza is actually a very interesting virus. There are very few things that have shaken the very foundations of our civilizations, and one of them was the pandemic in 1918. Where influenza, the first strain and antigenic sequence that was studied, the H1N1 strain, seemed to circulate and kill off millions and millions of people. And these are not elderly, frail people. These are young, healthy adult male and females. That goes to show what potentially influenza could do to a population that's not immune and has not seen this virus before. What makes this virus very different from other viruses is that every virus, every living thing actually has a genetic code, and that genetic code determines what the living organism is, essentially. The genetic code of this influenza virus is actually split up into 8 fragments, and those 8 fragments actually mix with other fragments from different viruses to form new viruses that essentially our body has not seen. So every time there's a wave of influenza that affects us, it's because this influenza has recombined with another influenza, potentially from a different species, like avian, the bird influenza, to form a very sort of infectious or very dangerous health risk to us, because it looks new to our bodies and our bodies have not developed immunity to it. And it's because of this potential risk going forward that the concept of recurrent yearly immunizations has taken hold and is now a standard recommendation by most health organizations and governing bodies in the US and pretty much most of the world. Just to give you an example, the initial strain was an H1N1 strain. It later modified itself to an H3N2 strain. We have a H5N7 strain, and these are all very antigenically different viruses that could infect a person and make him very sick because the person has never seen that virus before. And these vaccines will teach your body and give your body a clue as to what you might get infected by, so that you'll be better prepared to heal yourself.